So I'm gonna try and remove this power cable here. It's so weird to me that this runs on one cable. Technology, man, it's crazy. So crazy. So we can get this 20 plus 4-pin out because CoolerMaster hates me. You know what? Let me take this video card out first. That way we're not bending this board left and right trying to deal with it. Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Nobody asked for Snoop, but I gave it to you anyway. All right, so we got this all set up. We're not going to take the memory out because it's already set up. And I want to get it in the case. And we don't need to pull anything apart. So, first things first, let's move this monitor out of the way. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here because I got parts and boxes floating everywhere. It's not organized, it's not neat or clean, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I definitely don't need the SLI bridge. It is time. Time to bring the black ice to life. There's a good idea for a build theme. Frankenstein build. That would be interesting. Now, one of the things that I like to do first when putting cases together and getting everything organized is getting the power supply in first. And the reason why I do that is because there have been occasions where I have needed to run a cable from the power supply under a motherboard. And that's, you know, if you have to do that, better to do it before the motherboard is screwed in rather than after the fact. All these cables floating around. Now, some of these are actually kind of managed already. I kind of had an idea of what was going on and what I was doing, so I made sure that at least some of it is organized appropriately. This is upside down. Pay no attention to the man behind the iron mask. This is Iron Man. Those four were for the socket. These were... what were those for? This is why you stay organized. I have forgotten what all these screws go to. 1, 2, 3... That should be these. Alright. We're good. I figured it out. So we really are in the home stretch of this. I just have to get everything in the case and we're good to go because we already know it runs. It's a little warm. I'm getting moist. Because these cables are not modular, if I get it in the wrong way, that's it. Like, that's the only way it's going to go. So we have to make sure when we're doing our cable management, we're bearing in mind where everything on the motherboard is placed. With this 20 plus 4-pin, I know that the motherboard has that at the top, which unfortunately is a huge problem with this case because this cable is not going to be long enough to actually run the length of the case and come out on the other side. Oh no, I'm crazy. It's on the side. It's not on the top. So we're fine. Assuming I don't break anything, which is very likely. I'm doing a little bit of cable management while I'm doing this because, like I said, if you mess it up now, it's messed up. That's it. I almost did something terrible. The old motherboard had a faceplate that was separate from the motherboard, like most motherboards. The new motherboard has an attached faceplate, which means I don't actually have to install one of these because it's already there. Unfortunately, that means I have to take out the previous one, and this is such a pain. There we go. These things are the bane of my existence. The number of times I had to handle these shields. If I never have to handle them again, it'll be too soon. It's beautiful. That's nice. Nice and flush. I love it. And I don't have to worry about them dang shields. Bobby! I just want to be done so I can spend all my time updating Windows. Let it never be said that I'm not organized. I've got a tiny screw box inside my major tool box, which is inside my carry toolbox. Boxes for days. Okay, time to mount the motherboard to the CPU case. And by CPU case, I mean computer case, because it's obviously not a case just for the CPU. That would be weird. This is the part where Mark loses all the screws. As all the pros are like, here's information about how to delid a $2,000 CPU. And I'm over here like, this is a power supply. I need more torque. Give me more power. That moment when you're like, where is the thread of this screw? Ladies and gentlemen, we now have our RAM, our CPU cooler, and our motherboard attached. We're basically done. Some screws are alive. This thing is actually like slightly bowed. I don't know if you can tell on that camera shot, but that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to open it up, because, you know, I'm not going to, again, like I said, until I get a new one, because it's got something going on there that I would be very interested in seeing what that something actually is. It could be anything. Could even be a boat. Okay, so that'll fit, which means the sound card will fit. I'm gonna put it down here because I don't want the Wi-Fi right next to the video card, because the video card gets too hot. Now see, this is the part, if I had like an AIO water cooler or even like hardline tubing, this would be the long part. This would be the part that would take the most amount of time, but I don't have those things. So since we're just literally screwing things in, we are in the final stages. After this, it's cable management, and that's pretty much it. Let's get this cover back on, or drop it, because that's exciting. Always a good idea to just, you know, hazard check all your components by dropping things on them. Now the only thing that will change from here is after I test this sound on this onboard device, if I determine it is lacking, then I will grab that sound card again and put it back in. Theoretically, the sound on this board is better than my sound card. Theoretically. Nothing is sacred. Everything is broken. So this ATX power is not going to reach from where it is. Okay. Big baby. Big baby. Alright, so... Oh gosh, no, that one was fine. Why? I'm just gonna be over here crying for the next 30 minutes. It's all good. There we are. Now we can plug this in. It's like CoolerMaster went out of their way to design something that later, somewhere down the line, someone named Mark was gonna have to deal with it and whinge about it for an hour and a half. Go to your home. That's your home. This is the one thing I don't like about putting computers together is I have very long fingers, but they're fat for their length. So trying to get them into all these little spaces between components is sometimes ridiculous. Maybe. Peek on through. Everest, what are you doing up here? This is a work zone. It's not safe for kiddies.
A few moments later.
So this is it. This is the moment of truth. If this works, we're right as rain. So there's power to the board. We see our RGB came on. It's all plugged in. Oh my gosh! Wait, it turned off. Whoa! I almost did it again. Almost pulled everything down. All right. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to turn off once and turn back on, and then it should post. We got a beep from the speaker that I installed, so that's good. That means it's starting up. We've got post. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we built a computer. And by we, I mean me. But we built a computer. That's exciting. I'm really happy that the case lighting is actually in sync. Just so you can see what it looks like with the tempered glass on. Tempered glass is a pain in the rear end, especially if you have it backwards. Oops. Oh! Thank God it's tempered. If it were regular glass, that would have been it. That would have been the night right there. I would have cried forever. That's essentially what it looks like with the glass closed. Minus all the dirty fingerprints. We got some good RPG. We got some rockets in here. We've got some good RGB in there, and it's looking a little snazzy. There's still bits in here that are obviously very old, like the power supply and the video card. But this looks great. This looks fabulous, and now what's ahead of me is you know, things like getting Windows installed, updating the BIOS, going through the process of overclocking everything and making sure it's all stable. But a lot of that's going to be done overnight, tomorrow. Most of that's really boring stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and say success. We're done. And thanks for joining me. I'll catch you guys later.